Hello, everyone. Remember the six sisters that were abducted, and one of them was killed by the terrorists because they hadn't paid the ransom that was asked for. Reports have come out that they've been released, minus, of course, the sister that had been killed and already buried. It's a bittersweet situation. Happy that they are out of there, and really sad that they had to go through that gruesome experience, watch their sister being killed. And it's something that affects someone for life, no matter how much time we go by. And hopefully they get the necessary psychological help, the necessary therapy, because they will need quite a lot of it. I just one can't even imagine what such an experience would be like. I had a moment where I had a girl that was abducted live with me once, and it was terrible. She didn't even get to. She escaped. It's one of the Chibok girls, that escaped. She stayed with me. I think about was that 2015 and ending of 2015 or 16. For a while, they were processing her papers for her to get into school and all of that. You can't. She was so scared. The doors. She's always. It took time for her to be able to behave and just feel safe. It took a long time. And this is someone who didn't even get to the camp. She's one of those that jumped out of the moving vehicle. She had just had her operation. She had appendicitis or operation a week. Kai, if it's some of these stories, if you hear them, that's why when I see people who come out to say, "Oh, Chibok's abduction is a lie. It was just done because of Jonathan," I'm like, are you that heartless? And a good number of people who deny, some of them have gone through, I've seen some of them that have gone through the same process, either their family members or their loved ones, some of them that have been abducted. Some people don't have empathy until it happens to them. I mean, it was so terrifying. This girl, she was the one that, two of them, the terrorists made them to go around and show them where the food were. Because if you see from the narration, and even from her and some of the ones that have escaped, the abduction, they came to look for food, to come and carry food. Schools, they were some of the things that were being done to them. They didn't have food where they were. They came to school, of course, in school, boarding school. There will be food in the store. They came to carry food, and then in the process, they now started arguing. So they came in military. This is digressing into another this thing. But hey, it's still abduction, because we are still saying bring back. I always have my badge. We're still saying bring back our girls today. A decade later, in a few months, it's going to be 10 years that Chibok girls were taken away. And she was like, they came in. So they came in military uniform. And that was why, some people are like, how can they pack so number of girls? This also happened. They came in military uniform and they told the girls that they were soldiers, that they had come to protect them from that Boko Haram were coming. So they rounded them up. And so in rounding them up, they were surrounded. It was when they started burning the school that the kids realized that, oh, these were actually the terrorists. And then they took some of them, to show them where the food, they packed the food. That was why they started arguing. Some of them were like, they should kill them. One side was like, they should kill all of them. The other was like, no, let them not kill them. They don't kill women. And then some were like, okay, let's take them away. Some were like, no, let's just release them to go. In that argument, the ones who were like, let's take them away won. And they even had to reduce some of the food to be able to pack all of them in the vehicle. Then I think there were some that they couldn't do. I think some fell off. They couldn't. They had broken legs, so they couldn't go with them in those vehicles. A few of them, whether they were 3 or 4, I can't remember that right now. And so that was how they packed them in the vehicle. And this girl had a friend, a very good friend. So she was telling her, let's jump. That one was like, no. Because they kept circling them, that with motorcycle, they kept circling them. So they couldn't. She just took the plunge anyway and jumped out of the vehicle with her operation that she did about a month earlier. And they started running into the bush. And one of the things the mother of her best friend always said to her, why didn't you grab your friend and jump with her? And she felt so guilty over that. I can imagine the sisters would feel so guilty that they survived and their sister was killed. She always, with sometimes she would see her cry. I remember one day when there was this a rescue. You see the way she was shaking and crying. That her friend was not amongst those rescued. Because she felt guilty that maybe she had dragged her friend. Because they kept telling them, don't jump. If you jump, we will shoot you. So that fear held a lot of them back. So much atrocity in Nigeria. So much. So many broken people. If you hear people's story, if you hear the things that Nigeria has done to people, you won't be surprised at the fact that we are all suffering right now. Wallahi. I remember during that EndSARS, I used to do a program called Let's Talk Nigeria People on Twitter, even before all of these podcast, these live things began, way before COVID-19 that had it. So I used to do this program. Let's talk about Nigeria things. Let's talk about Nigerian issues. On Twitter. Simultaneously, I was doing it on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And, during that EndSARS, hearing people with so many stories of what the Nigerian state has done to them, of the atrocities that they've had to go through. It's so painful. It's so sad. It's so crazy. This is not the way to live. For me as a Nigerian, one of the things that pains me the most is that the moment I travel out of Nigeria, I feel safer. That shouldn't be. We should come home and feel safer. The moment, it's not that bad things don't happen. I know even if something happens, somebody will care enough that a human being, it happened to a human being and do something. But in Nigeria, nobody will care. I'll just be a number, a statistics, and that's it. The moment I enter this, I travel out, I'm like, there's this feeling. If your kids are around, you're afraid. The moment your child travels out, you feel safe. Why? That's not life. That's not life.